Good afternoon, passport holders. Today, May 25th, 2017, day 937 of the vlogs. And yes, it's been a crazy actual start to the morning. A couple of phone calls with current clients. One who's really on the fence about whether or not they're going to be able to continue to be able to afford my services. The second one, who is surviving the adpocalypse better than most of the channels that I've been working with, which is super promising that there are people who are doing okay right now. The vlog edit just got finished. It's starting its export, so that'll take a few minutes. I've been chilling with Clintus in between phone calls. I had 2 phone screens for interviews coming up. All of that said, 2 more interviews on Tuesday. I moved the 6 a.m. Friday warehouse interview / tour / all that stuff to 10:30 because they had openings on their night shift just open up, which I'd much prefer to work from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. in that range, right? Because it's a part-time gig. This isn't full-time. Do that versus 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's just much better for me, and kind of my natural rhythm. So I'm making that change, move that to Tuesday, 10:30, should be fine. And so that's going to be the deal, I think. I have an option to move it to Wednesday as well because it's just an online scheduler, and this is a turn and burn. Plus, that gets me to Tuesday, which is really important because now I have 2 in-person interviews up in North Scottsdale, kind of back to back. So that's super positive. Is what it is. Done a little work on the website while I was on a conference call, which was kind of a weird situation between a couple of vendors and this one content creator that I'm trying to sign as a client. So we'll see how that goes. And that's kind of the bit. Like, that's where this morning has gone, what's been going on. And so, yeah, one step at a time. Next piece. Alright guys, as you know, last week I purchased the 1.8 variant of Soylent. Soylent is best described as a food replacement. It's not even a nutritional supplement. And so 1.4 was far and away my favorite. I was on that stuff on and off for the better part of 4 months. And I'd say that I got real close to having 3 months fully consumed on it. Super useful for me, especially while I was on the road. And so one of the things that I really enjoy about it is it's super simple for me to make and clean and maintain, which is interesting, but it's also relatively cheap versus food spoilage, which is a big thing for me because I don't tend to eat things fast enough while they're in my fridge. And so when it's sitting in a powdered sealed bag, it's a lot easier. It doesn't spoil so long as I'm able to consume it. There have been issues with 1.6. I did not like 1.5. So 1.4 I loved. 1.5 I did not like the texture of. 1.6 got everybody sick. I would say that I was like 85% okay. I could have been fine on it. And I was also in a weird situation regarding other stuff in my life, and therefore my experience could have been affected by that. But now I'm mostly back to healthy, and so I wanted to try the 1.8 because the 1.7 variant, for whatever reason, wasn't around for very long. So first sip, first reaction here of the Soylent 1.8. It's definitely that similar kind of oat-like flavor to it. So it's like the leftover cereal milk is the best description. That is far and away the smoothest of any variety that I've had, though. Yeah, it just doesn't taste like much, and so it's kind of the appeal of it to me, since I don't eat enough consistently, and I don't eat enough of the right things. Stuff that I do end up having ends up getting me in trouble more often than not. So, but I'm pretty excited to try this again, see how my body reacts, and hopefully, it's a good result because I would really enjoy being back on it 4 to 5 days a week. I really would. Been on the treadmill desk for the better part of an hour now, walking back and forth, handling some stuff and some things. A couple new job applications stuff for me to handle. a couple of personality tests, and then one assessment of my skills, which, I don't know exactly what they're looking for. I try my best, I do what I can kind of thing, and move forward. Rocco has continued, our schedules just continue to be off all day today, and so he still wants to talk. I still want to talk with him, is what it is. Continue to make progress on the website as well. And so those are the things that I'm working on. I listened to a podcast while I went for my post-lunch walk, because I tweaked my knee somehow on the treadmill desk, and it feels better when I walk outside. Plus, it's not 105 degrees out today, so I've got only a handful of those days left, it looks like, any longer, and so I'm going to take every advantage of the sub 100 days and be outside as much as possible. So I'm probably going to finish the next thing on my to-do list, and then lean in on one other item, personal item, and then I'll go for a walk outside. And if I come back and an outsourced captioner still hasn't picked up Clintus's video for today, which is like 17 minutes, I want to say, then I will pick it up myself and do it, because I don't have anything from Gary. The smaller channels are falling like flies right now. Received 2 more notifications this week that I will be losing them as clients come their next billing cycle. So it's kind of one of those things where the adpocalypse continues to claim clients for me, which at this point is getting close to like 65-70% of my revenue will be gone by the end of July. Certain people have longer terms, they can't go month to month, or they signed full annual deals and they're not picking up at the end of it. So that's why it's not an immediate loss, and just one more reason why I really have to take a job right now. I could, in theory, right, replace a lot of that revenue by going for daily vloggers, by going for people who creating content on a regular basis, or by going after corporates. The corporate thing has not been interesting to me for a lot of reasons. I could go after their agency partners. That's more interesting to me. The question mark is there a better spot somewhere else in the market for me? Spoke with Amelia, my friend who works at Facebook today. She was really pushing me very hard to try and go back into the crisis management stuff, work at a PR agency doing that, or to join a agency partner here in town, or somewhere else for that matter, to kind of blend the skill sets regarding video production, recutting for Facebook clips, captioning, and crisis management. She thought that was a sizable thing that I could roll up to pretty much any agency and say, hey, this is the kind of job I want to do inside of your company for all of your clients. Let's make it happen. Can you make that happen? And my initial reaction when we were talking wasn't that great, because I don't want to go back into agency life. It's intense. It's not my ideal kind of work environment. I'd much rather go corporate, and really I'd much rather go either super high level marketing corporate or very low level, just pay my bills kind of stuff. But with all of what's happening right now in the YouTube space, I've got to go seek out cover, and then once I get that cover, then we can start to make choices about how the business moves forward, in what manner does it move forward. Obviously, I will still have a handful of clients. It's not going to be a ton of cash that's going to be coming in at the end of July, but it is enough to be able to continue the business, and I have every intention of doing so. Question is, what happens, between here and the end of the year? We'll see. 6:45, guys, and it's been a kind of weird last hour or so, and I guess I've been shooting entirely sitting on the couch. It's the only time I've been thinking about bringing out a camera. But part of that is because, as you can see slightly behind me, that is the new homepage for Captions Created once it does fully launch, and it's been a lot of work in order to get it even to that point. Obviously, I still have a handful of other pages and things that I need to do, but overall, I'm really happy with how things are looking, and how they're consistent, and how they go down to mobile, and how fast they are. Because initially, when I was building it out for the first time, it was taking somewhere between 4 and 7 seconds to load, depending upon internet connection and kind of other internet things. And so, yeah, now I've got it down consistently under about 2.5 seconds. 2.3 was the last set of tests that I ran, so I'm pretty happy with that. The ideal situation is 2, but there are some things that I can't control on the server side right now, which is making me more and more likely, if I were to really triple down on the business, which could happen for any number of reasons, I would end up getting a virtual dedicated server again so that I can move all that stuff over, make that all work. The other bit is that an hour and 8-minute Ask Gary V 254 with Sasha Vaynerchuk was released, and so I ran the numbers on it and ran the numbers on today, and I was like, I don't want to take somewhere between 12 and 17 hours in order to transcribe all that. I'd much rather just take the time now, break it up into 5-minute chunks, upload all those to the outsourced captioners, let them carry the load on that one. But in exchange, I'll pick up Clintus's, and that's where some of today has gone, is that I've started to do the transcription there. It's a 17-minute video, so I'm going to take care of the rest of that in a little bit, but I wanted some time here on the couch just to be able to chill out, have my second bottle of Soylent, since I make the big 24-ounce bottles versus the little, I think there's like 12 or 15-ounce bottles that they actually produce themselves. And yeah, feeling pretty good on it. Not gonna lie, it's definitely tasting a little better at the bottom of the bottle, which normally I had to really kind of work on that and shake it up real solidly so that it could not taste super chalky. This version, that's not a problem. And so, yeah, if anything, it's actually calmed my stomach issues down, which is a nice change. So hopefully things continue on that way. Late night grocery run. Alright guys, 12:35, and at this point I am still not tired, which is incredibly frustrating. Made Soylent. I, as you can see, finished the transcription phase on Clintus's video. I did take a break in order to talk with Kelly, my friend, and we both kind of have had these weird couple of weeks. And so it's looking more and more like we're both kind of going through similar situations where we're kind of down on ourselves. And so just trying to see what we can do to pick each other up, keep each other accountable, and keep each other moving in the right direction, because it's so easy to potentially just kind of lay down and take it at this point. Away from that, I've just been catching up on YouTube, watching new YouTube channels, because I know that I'm going to need them. I don't have enough content being produced by my regular producers any longer in order to fill the time that I now have, because I don't have the Never Settle show. I'm losing client after client after client, and you can only apply to so many jobs a day because there are only so many posted that you're actually qualified for, or like I have been this week applying for jobs that I'm super overqualified for, only to receive about a half dozen rejections already. So, I mean, it's one of these things where there's not much I can do. Like, I actually have a master's degree. I actually have run my own business. I actually have been in senior roles inside of large corporations regarding crisis management and marketing. Like, that's a thing. I can't deny that, or else my resume looks like it's in shambles. So it's a tough situation to be in right now. But I'm fighting to try and make the new website go. I'm fighting to try and stop living off the cash that the business is generating, and once I get to that point, then all the business cash goes into trying to get new clients. And I'm hoping that that's where things start to turn around again. At least that's what I have to tell myself right now, because it's not looking good come the end of July, early August. As always, though, thank you guys so much for your time and your attention. I appreciate them both. And remember, you never stumble upon opportunity by standing still, so go do cool stuff. Bye for now.